the win is like the RSTLNE
Wheel of Fortune.
in Wheel of Fortune at this point.
Exactly. Welcome to amorephillyunion, the Strawberry Moon episode. We are your hosts. I'm E.
And I'm C.
And we are flying without Paul this week. He's traveling for work, so it's just C and I. And we had a little bit of a busy week, all good and fun. And so we're going to kind of keep this one a little bit on the shorter and sweeter side. Maybe it's because it is the Strawberry Moon. I don't know. But yeah, let's just kind of jump right into it. First, we just want to give a really big, I don't know, a more Philly Union thank you, but just a big thank you to the one team we agree on. Yeah, last night we joined Jillian and Kyle on their podcast. It was the second time this season, I think we were on their podcast. And so yeah, we were on last night with them. We discussed kind of the Union season so far. Yeah, just how far they've come, kind of what the remaining part of the season might look like, challenges, hopes, dreams, expectations. So we kind of dove into the deep end with them, and yeah, so you guys should go check out that episode. So just go over to their website, the one team we agree on.com. You could also search on all the various podcatchers. The episode this week is episode number 143, mid-season musings. Yeah, so go check it out. If you haven't checked them out already, just go check them out anyway. But be sure to check out this week's episode that we were lucky enough to join them on. And again, just an extra big thank you to Jillian and Kyle. We always have the best time going over to their house. We always like going over there, and so I just want to say thank you. We look forward to talking with them more as the season goes on, and yeah, it's just a great time. So thanks very much to those guys.
Yeah, thank you, as always.
So we're going to keep it kind of simple. As you said, we kind of went into some much greater detail on the one team we agree on podcast. So again, go check them out. So just to kind of keep on the simpler side, the one idea we kind of we're going to run with today is to kind of give the Union a grade so far this season. What grade would we give them, right? Why? What are some of the things that we really like that we think they're doing well? What are some things we're a little worried about or have concerns? Can this rocket ship ride just keep going? I don't know who wants to go first here. I'm happy to take the lead, but Christy, I don't know.
No, I'll jump in. I would say
I'm curious if you're going to give them the same grade I will, but I'm curious. Go ahead.
I'm going to go A minus, maybe.
Oh, go ahead.
A minus, maybe a B plus, but like an A minus. I think I'm going to stick with A minus. I mean, it sounds that might be a little bit of a rose tinge on that. But again, please listen to our discussion with Kyle and Jillian. But none of us thought we'd be here. Let's be honest, nobody did. I'm pretty sure, except like the most optimistic person, optimistic or naive, one of the two. I'm not sure.
Or someone who can divine the tea leaves better than any of us can.
Yeah, somebody with foresight. But yeah, it just we none of us, all of us thought this was going to be rebuilding. I don't think we had no way of knowing what talent we did have and how, also, like, more importantly, how they would gel. I have the minus or B plus. I should commit. I'm going to say A minus.
Okay. That's pretty good, especially from the Negadelphia.
The Negadelphia one. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think we all trade off on that rule. But yeah, maybe I'm more consistently neg. But yeah, I'm saying that because I think we are still struggling to find that finishing. We've talked about this before. This is not news. In some of our matchups. not in every single one, but in other ones, it's we're coming at it with four different options of scoring. There's no. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about not having one guy for another team to shut down.
Yeah.
But there are other games where there's just nothing doing. So I would like to see a few more people. Damiani, I'm kind of looking at you.
Yeah.
Aura, pray for Aura. I know he wants it as bad as anybody else does. I mean, sure, Damiani does too, but
Sure.
that's where I think we could use some help. Yeah, occasionally our defense gets a little shaky, but
Mm-hmm.
not as shaky as it had been in some of the previous seasons we've commented on. So, um, right now, sitting here, especially in comparison to how we felt at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
A minus, no question from
Yeah.
me. How
Yeah,
about you?
yeah, I agree with all that. I was gonna write down on a piece of paper before you gave out the letter grade to
Oh,
see if I
sorry.
had, but I was thinking exactly the same thing. I was like, yeah, B
Yeah.
plus, maybe A minus.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go B plus just
Okay.
because I wanna avoid any sort of grade inflation here. It's a strong B plus. 'Cause I mean, look, we're sitting
Hmm.
top of the East. I think I don't know where Vancouver is. I don't know if we're sitting top of the supporter shield contest. But look, we're up there. And if again, I agree with you. If you had asked me back in February, like, okay, beginning of June, Union's sitting in first place, I would be like, I don't know if I'd take that bet. I would hope for it, but I don't know if I would have taken it. And yeah, I'm really happy with where we're at, yeah, the B plus, the B part of the grade. Um, yeah, I agree with you. It's the finishing. I mean, especially the run in May. I think it was a real good test. Kind of the consistency by which we can deliver on the pitch, right?
Hmm.
I mean, that was a slog. It was grueling. It was
Right.
definitely it was a I don't know, a marathon's not necessarily the right word, but um, and we consistently performed. And from one game to the next, we've talked about this, with the one team we agree on. The Bradley's really doing a good job with trying different lineups from game to
Hmm.
game. Even within the games, he's changing lineups with the subs, and I think that's what gives me that plus because it's something different that we're seeing on the field. Um, the B part of the grade is what you said. It's the finishing.
Hmm.
The Dallas game. It's that we talked about it last week on the episode, and it's that easy line that we all say all the time is that we should have won that game, and that's we got to give Dallas their credit. We got to recognize that especially in that Dallas game we just couldn't, like I said, we couldn't finish it. We
Right.
couldn't finish
Right.
the shots. So that gives me the B, and that gives us room for the second half of the season because we still got we're still in the run for the Open Cup. We are still in a run. Obviously, everyone is for MLS Cup.
Hmm.
We're still contenders for the Supporter Shield, right?
Hmm.
After talking with Jillian and Kyle last night, it's kind of like, man, we should just wouldn't it be something if we got the triple crown, just all three
Right.
trophies? We might be able to do it, you know.
Hey, never say never.
Yeah, like one of the things in the notes here is how far can we go? Like, is
Hmm.
the sky really the limit? And right now, with what Carnell's doing, the way he's managing players, having, not being overloaded with the amount of game time,
Hmm.
managing player injuries, right? Blake is kind of flirting in and out with injuries.
Hmm.
Uh, but we got a trusty replacement with Rick, so I feel like he's doing a good job trying to mitigate all the stresses that can affect a whole team. And so
Hmm.
yeah, I am hopeful for the second half of the season,
And I think our bench is proving to be deeper than we had anticipated too.
100%.
We did not think we thought we had some newbies, some, if you will, kids from our perspective
Yeah,
at
right.
least.
The kids.
And
Yeah.
and then a few veterans returning.
Yeah.
But it kind of seemed like okay, this let's see what this hodgepodge can do. And man, I mean, Lukic, Stanley, again, I mean, it's kind of a highlight reel of what we talked about last night, I guess.
Yeah.
But just really stepping up. Quinn, I mean,
Yeah.
Frankie Westfield. Gosh, just like wow, amazing stuff going on there. Could they do more? Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Could there be more happening? I don't mean do more like work harder. I'm just saying like is there that refinement, that finishing needed? Yeah, that's
Hmm.
again, we're back at the same place.
Yeah.
But um, but yeah, I think we have a lot more, a lot stronger bench than we thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And I think with Carnell's good management skills, I think it's really getting a lot out of our whole team. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. My one concern going forward is will other teams be able to kind of crack our code? Because I feel like,
Mhm.
even when Curtin was at the helm and we were having a couple of good seasons, solid seasons, it was always like if once the other teams seemed to figure out what we were doing on the field, that's when things started getting more difficult. So
Mhm.
it does feel like Carnell has a lot more cards up his sleeve. Um,
Yeah.
maybe maybe he's got enough in terms of strategy and management to keep the rest of the teams guessing for 17 more regular season games,
I
three
mean,
more
it's a
Open
lot
Cup
to
games.
ask. It's a lot to
Yeah, it
ask,
is.
and
It
then
is.
no mistake. But
Yeah.
like it's I do feel like they figured out the Kai-Tai, for example. And I know
Yeah.
believe I've said this in the last episode too, so I don't want to repeat myself too much, but um have and haven't. I'm not saying, Chai obviously has other things he can do too, but
Yeah.
and so can Kai. But I feel like that's been figured out, but then there are other things that have taken its place, and I'm hopeful that I feel like with Curtin we were more liable to try the same thing over and over and over
Yeah.
again and hope we'd break through this time.
Diamond Newfield.
And I say all this, every time I say this, I say the same thing. I say all this with nothing but respect for Jim Curtin
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I can't not respect that guy. But it is nice to see other things being tried and succeeding. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, you had mentioned the Supporters Shield. We're in second, but just barely.
Is it
Um,
Vancouver that's up front?
Vancouver's in
Okay.
first, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we both have 10 wins, but they have a game in hand
Okay.
at this point.
Okay.
And only one loss while we have three. So I think
Yeah.
that's and more ties than we do. So
Cool. All right.
so there's definitely room for that to shift.
Yeah.
Um, Not insurmountable by any stretch. So
Yeah.
and go San Diego in third.
Yeah. Right.
How about that?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, we made it through May. It was a pretty intense schedule of games. We kind of have a little bit of a mini break. We had the friendly last weekend against Atlas. This weekend coming up, we return to MLS League play. The Union will be facing off against Charlotte. That'll be Saturday, this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. at
Mhm.
here at Sewer Park. Um, and then we're gonna have a little bit of, I think, like another 10-day break
Mm,
before the next our next MLS game. So it's a nice little pause. I know there's some international stuff going on as well. I know Gold Cup starting this weekend.
mhm.
So we all caught the end of the US Switzerland game yesterday.
Oof.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
great seeing all these current or former Union players on the roster.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was great seeing they had a shot of Quinn Sullivan and Jack McGlynn sitting on the bench during the game, talking to each other, smiling. That's great to see.
Hmm.
Jack McGlynn's getting a lot of good attention right now, so that's awesome. Um, but um, but anyway, yeah. So we have a game coming up this Saturday. It's against Charlotte. Um, just kind of run through some numbers. Union sitting in first place, of course, um, and are just kind of summing up May in terms of the last five MLS games. We have two draws and three wins. One draw was the that Dallas game, our most recent one. Charlotte's eighth place. Their current five-game win streak is not as strong. They only have two wins, a draw, and two losses. So I don't know what to expect, or what are we kind of hoping for maybe in this game on Saturday? What do we want to see on the field?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at these numbers, I don't know. I mean, we if we have the finishing in place, if we have or some semblance of it, um, maybe if we have, well, we have Blake. No, he's going to be at
It's gonna be a Gold
he's
Cup.
Gold Cup.
Yeah.
But as we've said, we are big fans of Rick, so I'm
Yep.
not overly upset about that.
No.
Um, Charlotte has proved to be, eighth place or not, they've proved to be a fairly formidable team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I would love to obviously I'd love to see a win. I don't do we have to say that anymore? I mean, that's what
Yeah,
we all want to say.
right.
It always sounds so silly. Of course we'd
But
love to see a win.
yeah, it's kind of like, what would you like to see? Like kind of an expectation
Yeah, I mean
sense.
details of that of said
Yeah.
victory, I guess. Um, my continued refrain. I would like to see Aura score. God love him, because I think he's going to explode if he doesn't. And then I would like to see some forgive me, but ROI on Damiani. I hate to use a corporate
Yeah.
term, and I
Yeah.
hate to bring that into it. And that's not his fault. I mean,
No.
the money they spend on him is their business in a way, not his. But it's like we keep joking. It's we're at $3 million, or excuse me, $1 million per goal at this
Yeah.
point, I believe. So and I mean. Yeah, I'm sure he's feeling what we're feeling.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my refrain. I've said it before. I don't think there's anything new there. I'd continue to love to see Danley just go nuts.
Mhm.
You know, running around.
Yeah.
Not sure he's not on any
National team
national team
duty.
duty, is
Oof.
he? I don't think so. I
Don't
didn't
think he
don't
is.
remember seeing anything, but
Yeah, I don't think he is. I don't think.
so um he's just so much fun to
Yeah.
watch, like tear it up.
Yeah.
So but that's what I'd like to see, along with
Yeah.
the give, like, so the win is like the RSTLNE
Oh, Wheel of
in
Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
And now we're
Yeah.
just have to fill in the other letters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
is.
That's a good way of
But
describing it. Yeah.
yeah, so
The RSTLN and the E. Yeah,
but
that kind of goes without saying.
what would you like to see?
Okay, I'm going to say I want to see the win, and I'll put that in context, right? Like, if we don't win, I'm going to be a little, well, if we lose, I'm going to be bummed. If we draw, I'm like, come on, like
Yeah.
our last game was a draw against Dallas. Yes,
Hmm.
it was in Dallas, but we were up a man. Like, this is that whole,
Yes.
like what you said, we have to finish this.
Right.
And Charlotte is we've had a little bit of a break. We had the friendly last weekend, but it was, we have a little bit of a break here. Hopefully players are recharging, and so we got Charlotte on Saturday, and then we're gonna have like 11 days off until the next one. I know there's international stuff going on,
Hmm.
so this is an iron that should be hot, and we should strike it. And
Hmm.
so I want to see the win. If we don't get the
Hmm.
win, I'll be a little like, Now, granted, if Charlotte goes up by three and we tie it up at the end, I'm going to be ecstatic. So I
Sure.
guess it's the manner by which that it's delivered. But I
Right.
want to see the win.
Right.
I want to see Damiani score. Just give me one goal. And
I
and I say
mean,
that for us as fans, but I also say that for him as a player.
of
Let's
course.
let's get that started, because I do believe it's in him, right? He
Oh
can get
yeah, it
these
is.
goals.
Hmm.
He just has to, whatever the equivalent of the Kai-Tai is for him. We gotta
Hmm.
get him. We'll
Mm-hmm.
think of a drink that we can mix Damiani with and another player on the team. But
Mm,
I would like to see that. And I honestly, I'd like to see a clean sheet, especially if Rick's in net.
mm,
I want to see clean sheet. If we win, okay, we can let up a goal, but I want to see that defense hold.
mhm,
So it's a little bit of a pre second half of the season, um, kind of a demo here. I don't know.
mhm,
That's what I'm hoping for.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll definitely be disappointed if it's anything other than a win,
Yeah.
especially with that Dallas tie. So, um, I don't know, but especially now that they've rested and gone go-kart racing.
That was awesome
And
video.
that was, I don't know if anybody, if listening saw that on social media. But I guess Cornell did a bit of a Ted Lasso, and
Hmm.
they supposedly thought they were going to be going to training, as usual, and he took them go-karting and basically did like a
That's
arcade kind
awesome.
of thing.
Yeah.
But and of course, I could think Ura must have won at least one of the races,
Yeah.
is bless him. And so did Allie, who said that the old man still got it,
Old
which
man still got it.
love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. So, I think it was probably good. I mean, after that May, I was glad to see they acknowledged that
They
they
need a little bit of a
probably
break.
needed
Yeah.
a minute to just, have a bit of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. It's more hopeful at this point in the season than I thought I'd be. I thought we
Yeah.
were just going to be sort of tap dancing and starting to talk about next year at this
Yeah.
point, to be totally honest,
Yeah. I agree.
and maybe even talking about whether Ernst was going to get the door, because I think there was a time where we were very much not
Yeah.
sure if this experiment was going to go anywhere. So, another half.
Yeah.
As a team of two different halves. Let's see how this goes when it's translated and
Into a
extrapolated
season.
to a season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's hope they continue their winning ways.
Yeah.
So,
Because it always feels like we're a little bit of a stronger second half. So
yeah, who
hopefully that
knows?
translates to the season. We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we will see. All
But I
right.
would like to say, please contact us with your grades and your reasonings.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people say, oh, tell me your favorite snack in the comments. Truly, we would love to hear from you guys. We really, I don't think we've said it in a little while, but we would really love for this to be a conversation. We do have some folks that we talk with fairly regularly.
Hmm.
We would love to increase that. Um, you know, who knows? You may end up on the pod. Ask
Yeah.
ask friend of the pod, Nate,
Yeah, exactly.
who we had on
Yeah.
for one of our
Yeah.
later episodes last season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to hear your grades, your thoughts, optimistic, Negadelphia, whatever you have.
Yeah.
Would love to hear what you have to say.
I mean, especially honestly, we're no experts here. I mean, we're
Oh my
just
God, no.
fans and we try to think and talk intelligently about the stuff we see on the field and off the
Hmm.
field and all that. And kind of becoming part of what we call the union verse.
Hmm.
We the union, the one team we agree on. Heck, even the Philadelphia Union Foundation, talking with them. We're just kind of living up to our philosophy and namesake, right? A more Philly Union. We're trying to understand and get that bigger picture. Well, and just learning, right? Because I mean,
Hmm.
we're viewing this through our Coke bottom, um, and so I like learning new stuff, thinking about things differently. So yeah, we welcome your thoughts and opinions. So yeah, please feel free to share them with us.
We're a fan cast. We're not
Yeah,
a news organization,
yeah,
so we want to hear
yeah,
what other people are thinking too. And that's why we enjoy talking with Kyle and Jillian,
yeah,
and other people around the Unionverse, because it's just interesting to hear the
yeah.
different perspectives that people have.
Yeah, I always enjoy those guys because they just the technical or numeric details they have is just it's
Hmm.
aspirational.
It really
It's
is.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's it. Like
Okay.
I said, we kind of uh yeah, it's been a busy week and we had a good chat with Jillian and Kyle. So please check them out this time and we'll be back next week to talk about Charlotte.
Yeah, and whatever's coming up next. So
Hmm.
yeah, once again, go check out the One Team We Agree On at their website, theoneteamweagreeon.com. Again, you can find them on all the podcatchers and stuff like that. So yeah, so give them a listen. Yeah, show them some love. If you want to reach out to us, you can join in our conversation. Our website is amorephillyunion.com. Again, send us your questions, thoughts, opinions. Send us the grade you think the Union have earned so far in this first half of the season. We'd love to know what you guys are thinking. You can reach us via email, um, or you can contact us via our social media platforms, particularly Instagram. That's one where Christy's pretty active and policing on all that. But again, you can email us at pod@amorephillyunion.com. On our socials, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and Bluesky, we are a More Philly Union. We have our fun little Spotify playlist where we're constantly adding new songs to, so you can find that on Spotify under a More Philly Union. Just look for the one with the little music notes. Um, if you want to get some More Philly Union swag, we have our little store. You can check that out. Just go to our website or check out our link tree that has the link to our store. Um, and again, download, subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. And while you're at it, go show some love to one of our favorite forces for good in the world, and that is the Philadelphia Union Foundation. You can check them out at philadelphiaunionfoundation.org. So thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode of A More Philly Union. We are your hosts. I'm E.
And I'm C.
On behalf of Paul, go Union.
Union.
See, Paul, we can't do this. Hey, Nate.
Say hi.
Yeah, your dad's not on, but you can say hi to your dad so we can put on the stinger.
Hello. Hey, Dad. I know I'm a little late now, but here we are. All right, I'll see you.
And that's the one we can end on.